Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life, is back on the bookshelves in New Zealand, and Cambridge University reveals the real reason for deplatforming the professor. I'm your host, B.A. Jarvis, and you're watching The Golden Door. Alright, we're back. Now, this is just going to be a quick video, guys, to follow up on a couple of stories I published last week with regards to the continued misrepresentation of Jordan Peterson. First, New Zealand's bookstore chain Whitkools has restocked 12 Rules for Life. The bestseller is once again available for purchase on the company's website, and from my understanding, the book is also available at its retail locations. Now, after posting my last video, I came across a Reddit post that provides some pretty damning evidence as to the absurdity that I mentioned of Jordan Peterson's book being banned when so many far more objectionable books still remain for sale. Let's take a quick look. Great stuff there, and I want to give a shout out to Redditor Rahira K for sharing that list. Beyond the initial customer service letter quoted when the story originally broke, Whitkools has declined to make any official statement on what led to the ban or what made them rethink their decision. But either way, I'm happy that they've decided to reconsider, as I don't think we should be banning books no matter what anyone's personal opinions are on them. If you don't like it, don't read it. Now on to the prestigious University of Cambridge. As you'll recall last week, the school's Faculty of Divinity rescinded an offer to Peterson of a 2-month fellowship set to begin in the fall. At the time, a spokesperson for the university stated that the fellowship offer had been withdrawn based on further academic review. However, as reported by the BBC earlier this week, it appears that this was a bold-faced lie. According to the University Vice-Chancellor Stephen Tope, the school was prompted to rescind the offer after a picture surfaced of Peterson standing next to a man wearing a shirt stating, "I'm a proud Islamophobe," after a speaking event in Auckland. Professor Tope said that the offer of the fellowship was granted on an academic basis, but as a consequence of becoming aware of the image, the invitation was rescinded. The casual endorsement by association of this message was thought to be antithetical to the work of the faculty that prides itself on the advancement of interfaith understanding, he said. Dr. Peterson has previously said that he refused to comply with Canadian laws compelling him to use gender-neutral pronouns of an individual's choice, and in 2016 released a video lecture series questioning political correctness. He also took aim at campus culture of social justice warrior, left-wing radical political activists. Last week, Dr. Peterson said that he had not heard about the rescinding of the offer from the faculty, which announced its decision on Twitter, and said that it publicized the decision in a manner that could hardly have been more narcissistic, self-congratulatory, and devious. The BBC has contacted his representatives over the Vice-Chancellor's claims. A follow-up piece was published today by The Spectator, titled "Jordan Peterson and Mob Rule at the University of Cambridge." Several Cambridge Dons have been in touch to express their dismay at this craven capitulation to the mob. Author Toby Young goes on to state, "The words casual endorsement by association are doing a lot of work here. At Peterson's public lectures, a VIP ticket entitles you to be photographed with him, and typically hundreds are sold. One of the rules is that you're not supposed to stop and chat to Peterson while having your photo taken, because if everybody did that, the back of the line would be waiting for hours. So he only has a few seconds with each person. They appear, he puts his arm around them, the photo is taken, then it's on to the next one. Not enough time to scrutinize what's written on their t-shirts, let alone cross-examine them about their political views. So the fact that Peterson was photographed next to this proud Islamophobe does not constitute an endorsement of such views, casual or otherwise. To put it in perspective, I once persuaded Jeremy Corbyn to pose next to me in the green room of the Andrew Marr Show. To date, no one on the left has suggested Corbyn isn't fit for office because he was once photographed next to a Tory. Several Cambridge Dons have been in touch to express their dismay at this craven capitulation to the mob. One sent me a string of pictures of Tope casually endorsing the political views of a variety of people that haven't done much to advance the cause of multiculturalism, including the Chinese diplomat who compared the people of Japan to Voldemort. And if this wasn't an official portrait by an embassy photographer, so he didn't have Peterson's excuse that it was the 100th person that he posed with that day. These dons were at pains to convey that the minority of the faculty and staff and students have embraced left-wing identity politics, and most would have welcomed Peterson. They point out that last November he played to a packed house at the Corn Exchange in Cambridge Union. Quote, I know that many students were over the moon to the thought of the academic rock star of his caliber spending a couple of months with us, wrote an anonymous correspondent. It's all so depressing. Say what you will about Donald Trump, but at least he's taking a stand against this kind of virtue signaling censorship. Last week, he issued Executive Order 13865, which is intent to address free speech crisis at American universities. Henceforth, if a university fails to protect free speech, the federal government can withhold millions of dollars in research funding. That's speaking to them in a language they understand. The new university's regulator, on which I briefly served last year, is supposed to defend the intellectual freedom on campus and has similar levels at its disposal, but so far has been pretty toothless. And to think, this assault on our cherished freedoms is occurring under the Tory government. Imagine how much worse it would be if Labour ever gets re-elected. So there you have it, folks. I'm not sure what I can say to follow up Mr. Young, but I'd love to hear what you think in the comments section. And remember, if you want to see more content like this, please hit the like and subscribe button. And until next time, this has been The Golden Door.